Welcome back to Poopy Pictures. Today, we're going to settle the debate once and for all. Does covering your car in extremely lewd imagery actually improve lap times? If you're into cars or non-binary, you've probably heard of Itasha, the Japanese trend of wrapping your car in anime graphics. The word Itasha literally translates to painful car. The undeniable pinnacle of this trend is when people just put straight up porn on the car. Hentai, Ahigo faces, hell, this whole ass car is sponsored by Fleshlight. Leave it to Formula Drift to be gay and retarded. To test this scientifically, we need the ultimate definitive Gunner vehicle. We're using the IbishuXXX because of its similarities to some pretty gay cars from Nissan. I started modifying the actual components first, before designing the livery. A full wide body kit, mud flaps, a completely non-functional roof scoop, and an extra tall radio antenna without making any real power upgrades. Next, I did the suspension. I put on race suspension, which was a slight liberty, but I only did so because it allowed me to slam the car onto the ground. We paired it with a louder exhaust that makes way more noise than it needs to, and I did put on a turbo, but we're not making much more than 200 horsepower. It doesn't do much, but it just makes the lap times a little bit less miserable. And then of course we've added this giant rear wing, which is doing nothing because I doubt we're gonna be even getting over 100 on the test lap. Also, I've put these boxes in the back. We added 100 kilograms of solid cargo weight into the trunk and rear seats, simulating the added weight of Funko Pops, anime sex toys, children's decapitated corpses, or a fat-ass passenger, which you'd expect to find in Gunner's car. Before we add porn to the car, we need a control run. We need to set a benchmark lap time without any decals on the car. Now it's time for the real test. Will covering this car in porn give us a faster lap time, or will it make me hard and ruin my driving? Let's head to the shop. I put a lot of thought into the images that I was going to actually put on this car. I had a lot to choose from, as there is a lot of porn on the internet, but I ultimately decided that the car should still be colored a little bit and not just completely covered in images. I put a lot of different styles on the car. There's some real stuff, there's obviously a huge image of a very famous actress on the front. There's some weird stuff on the top. I don't even know who that is. And then on the side we have My Little Pony. I think that's Twilight Sparkle. Who is that? I don't know. And then I think that's Pinkie Pie. Oh, Fluttershy, I think that's that one's name. I got no idea who that is. I can't remember who any of these people are. And of course we had to throw in a BBC reference here. And on the back we have the channel name with a nice little green gradient across the whole thing. I think my favorite part of the whole car though is actually not the porn. It's these green wheel arches here. But yeah, I think we did a good job. It's pretty funny how much Lana looks like the greatest black dude who ever lived here. I changed the default hood to make her look a bit more real, and I deleted the big roof scoop so that image on top would be more visible. I also changed the front bumper to the other custom front bumper. We were on custom bumper 2 for the initial car, and now we're on custom bumper 1. And that seems to allow for slightly more image visibility. I doubt these mods will make much of a difference on the lap time, because aero is low on this car's list of priorities for potential improvements. Let's go ahead and hit the track. I'm proud to announce the Poopy Pictures Instagram. Go give it a follow. With both laps complete, it was time to check our results. I put the results up on the screen right here, and I gotta say, both cars weren't very fun to drive. They understeered, had bad brakes, were too slow, lacking in torque, and felt very unstable at times. You can see a couple times in these laps where I either get hard while I'm driving, or I'm simply not able to turn in enough to clear the turn and I just end up skipping portions of the track. Fortunately, beamNG doesn't really count track limits, but I like to stay in track limits usually, unless I'm actually setting a speed run, which is gay and retarded and something that I don't usually do, but that's why I did it here, because what we're doing is gay and retarded. All in all, these weren't my best laps. I could hardly say that they're pro laps, if you know what I mean. And I don't think there was any actual improvement made to the lap time. The first lap that I set on the Gooner car was especially underwhelming, but that was mostly due to my poor driving and getting hard during the lap. But it can't be understated how much of an improvement to the overall car the Gooner livery makes. It takes something that looks like shit and turns it into something that looks like shit and is gay and retarded. It's incredible. Although, depending on who you are, you might think that the car is actually quite nice to look at, and I'm inclined to agree with you. I'm excited to explore this topic in the future and maybe make more liveries, or add more porn to other video games. Subscribe for more updates.